Good morning, everyone. This is Matt Tour with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I'm going to be presenting this morning with Paul Garofoli from National Western Life. Paul will be joining us here shortly, but we'll get started here. So I appreciate you joining us today. We'll be discussing National Western Life's Ultra Classic and a couple of the other products, the Ultra Future, and another one of the products that Paul will be going over this morning. And we should have a really good webinar. It'll probably last about 40 minutes in length. And if you have any questions along the way, be sure to get those asked. We'll go ahead and get those answered as they're coming in. Glad you could join us today, and we'll get things going here this morning. And hopefully we can help you out with anything you have pending right now regarding any clients. You may have some interest in this type of a product. It should be a great match for you. But today we'll be discussing the Ultra Classic and Ultra Future. We'll hit a couple slides here. First of all, we've got our 2-day training meetings we do about once a quarter, and I know we just had one here about 3 weeks ago. We'll be doing another one sometime in March of 2017. We bring in agents from all over the country, and it's really a good meeting we hold at typically one of our home offices, and we go over details regarding some of the trends in the market space, where the index market's going, especially the upcoming DOL rulings and everything going on that end. And then we go over life insurance, some advanced life sale information. We go over some different software tools, really some good information we discussed during these meetings. And it's a great way for you to pick up some good sales ideas. And we bring a couple of our top producers in, which will be going over some of the sales ideas they use, going over a couple different seminar systems, really a good package we present at these meetings. Definitely worth your time in attending one of these. I'm going to launch a quick poll here. If it's something you have some interest in doing in 2017, we'll probably do between 3 and 4 of these meetings during the year. Probably do one in March, one time in June, probably do another one sometime in August or September. And a great way for you to get out, meet some other agents, bounce some ideas off them, get some good sales ideas off some of our top producing agents, and a good way for you to pick up some things you can take back to your area on some ways to increase your sales. Maybe you want to take advantage of some software that you're not currently using, this being presented at the meeting, and go over a lot of good information on income riders, maybe some of the latest and greatest on the income rider side. Maybe you're trying to learn more about some specific strategies that are being used on the indexed annuity end of the business. It's a great way for you to polish up some of your information and be able to take that home with you and use that in the field. So that's something you have some interest in doing. Again, we'll be doing about 3 or 4 of these in 2017. We do pick up your cost for your flights. We pick up your room and board. Really, the only thing you have to pay for is getting your way to the airport and back from the airport. Or if you're going to be driving in, we take care of your mileage. So it's a great way to get some training. I know a lot of companies do not train agents anymore. It's kind of a lost practice, but we do have some companies that are willing to represent in that area and bring you in, train you on some of their products. We go over a lot of different programs or outside of their area. I know the first night we have at the hotel, we go a lot of over some really fine details on some of the programs that are offering through a lot of our carriers. So definitely worth your time. I'll go ahead and close this up and get going to the next slide. We've got a creative services department here at IMES. They help you with advertising. I know from the basics on just doing letterhead, doing your business cards, doing your envelopes to help you with that, and all the way up to doing a website development, doing online marketing. I know we've got agents that do some radio advertising. We also have a couple agents that have done some television ads in the past. So we have a really good selection of programs you can choose from based on your needs and what you would want to utilize in your area to get in front of more clients. I know we have a lot of agents that have done websites via our creative team, and they've got a great deal on the websites. It's a great way for you to have a place for your clients to go to check out what you have to offer. Maybe you can pick up some stray clients online Another great way to get in front of more individuals is taking advantage of that online marketing we have available through our creative team. I know Matt Neal is in charge of that department. If you'd like to talk to Matt, he's available pretty much 5 days a week here at the office, and he has plenty of time to talk to you. So if you would want to get a hold of Matt, you can call our toll-free number 800-255-5055, and he'd be more than happy to go over those details with you based on the creative services we offer through IMES. We have different levels of incentives based on new producers. If you're new to IMES, you haven't written for a couple of years, it's a good way to get some additional freebies from us. We've got the $100,000 level, the $300,000 level, and the $500,000 level. And if you do say $300,000 of production the first 90 days of being contracted, you can choose from a full turnkey lead program using Social Security. It's a 3,000 piece mailing. We also have a $1,500 gift card at that level. If you have $500,000 of production, we have a couple different seminar systems you can choose from. We also have a weekend getaway package to any Ritz-Carlton in the continental U.S. I know I had an agent that just did this. He had a great time. So it's a great way for you to take a vacation on IMES. We take care of you and your significant other. We pay for your plane flight to the location. You go ahead and stay at that Ritz-Carlton for a nice weekend and fly back to your location after that. So really a nice program. You can qualify based on your production in the first 90 days. And of course, a $100,000 level, you can earn a $750 cash bonus. We have a two-year subscription to a website that you can have developed for your corporation, or you can choose the latest generation iPad. So a lot of different things you can choose there based on your early production. We've got a referral program. You refer agents to us. You get a $50 bonus when they get contracted. You also receive an override based on their production. You receive 20 basis points on their production, and a great way for you to get additional dollars coming your way. I know we have agents that get some really nice quarterly checks from us based on their referrals. We also have our marketing reimbursement program. You'll earn $200 for every $100,000 you write on indexed annuity premium, and that'll go into a side account which you can utilize towards marketing. We reimburse half of your costs. So if you do a dinner outing where you maybe bring in 4 or 5 couples, dinner costs you $1,000. We'll reimburse you $500 of that based on your marketing reimbursement account. So a great way for you to take advantage of what IMES has to offer on marketing expenses. I know we have agents to do seminars, we have agents to do mailings. They've got telemarketers they use, and we get receipts all the time based on those. And we go ahead and reimburse half that cost for your marketing. So a good way for us to have some skin in the game for your production. So it's a great way for you to take full advantage of the dollars that IMES has to offer based on that. And I know we've got that marketing reimbursement. We send those checks out on a weekly basis. And then on the referral program, we send those checks out once a quarter. So we do got some great features there. And appreciate your time this morning on the introductions here. And we're going to go ahead and switch the presentation over to Paul. Paul's a Vice President at National Western Life. I know Paul's been at National Western Life for a number of years, does a great job in their marketing department there. And I know that National Western Life is currently offering double credit for sales, their sales conference, and that runs through the end of the year. You can get a great trip to South Beach, Florida, and they have an extended trip out to Key West. So I know Paul will be very happy to see some of you qualify for that trip this year. It should be a great time there in Florida. Once again, good morning, Paul.
Hey, good morning, Matt. And good morning, everyone across the country. Thanks for the opportunity to be with you today. We're going to talk about bail for money jail, Matt. So if we're ready to go, I'm going to say thank you to you, and I'm ready to rock. So I want everybody to be open-minded today, and I am a little irreverent in terms of how we present. And the objective, though, is to give you valuable content that you can apply to your practices. So keep those things in mind. So today's theme is bail from money jail, and we're going to reveal to you not one, but actually two products that pay double-digit commission. And we're not afraid here at National Western Life to recognize that you're entitled to get paid for your great work. You know, one of the challenges we have in our great economy, in our great country, is that people aren't getting the advice that they need, that people aren't incented to have those discussions. Well, we want you to have great discussions with your clients and prospects, get paid well, and actually do good for them. So today's theme is bail for money jail, and we'll lead into the product. Now, when I talk about money jail, what I'm talking about is really the current environment that we find ourselves, not only in general terms, but certainly in retirement planning. You know, if you're looking for safety and certainty, where our interest rates are right now, low, low, low. Now, they're creeping up. We expect them to creep up a little bit, but still, even if they double, they're still at historical lows. Also, relative to money jail on our side of the business, the annuity side of the business, we also talk about surrender charges, the inflexibility now with product design by way of the suitability process, the surrender charges associated with these products. It's difficult to move money from one carrier to another, from one account to another, and thus inhibiting or restricting or confining your client's capital to a choice in a circumstance that might not be best for them. So we talk about liquidity. Why is liquidity important? Well, we talked about the fixed interest rate scenario. We talk about client needs being unpredictable and changing. Most financial products today do only one thing. You know, particularly on my side of the business, the annuity side of the business, you know, there are some products out there that are so-called good for accumulation. They're kind of tricked up and gimmicked up, but, you know, they contend that they're good for accumulation. Also on our side, you know, everybody's focusing on the income rider. Well, that's great, but what if your client's circumstances change? And then when you consider that the most common concern of the average annuity buyer is access to capital, the flexibility to get at their money when they need it, when they want it, how they want it, that's a big concern. So we think that we at National Western Life are bringing to you what I like to call bail from money jail. I like to call it the unannuity, the UN, unannuity, that instead of locking client capital up for perpetuity, you have the ability, if it makes sense for the client, if there's an opportunity to improve their situation, to access funds without penalty and in many cases without permission. We're bringing to you financial outlay protection, liquidity, a product, let's talk about accumulation, that has an uncapped index strategy based on the good old S&P 500, low cost and even no cost income riders, penalty-free required minimum distributions in the first year. And we bring this to you from an A-rated, superior surplus, impeccably financially credentialed company, National Western Life. So let's talk about the indexing first, and we'll get into the liquidity. You know, we try to keep our products, our indexing simple here at the company. We still base our indexing off the S&P 500. We have just two strategies on the indexing side, a monthly average with annual reset with a first-year participation rate of 85%. You know, for similar strategies with competing carriers, you're looking at 30%, 35, 40. This strategy contractually has a minimum participation rate of 50. My minimum, ladies and gentlemen, is higher than most carriers' maximum. So we have some upside potential here in this product. We have a monthly point-to-point strategy, measuring the S&P 500 again by month with the 2% monthly cap. To keep it simple, if the index capped out at 2% per month, times 12, that's a 24% maximum potential credit. Well, what if it capped out at 1% for 12 consecutive months? That's 12% maximum indexing. The strategies are complementary. People ask, well, do you have a volatility control? No, we have strategies that lend themselves to volatility control. These two strategies complement each other relative to uncertainty and unpredictability in the marketplace. And if you want certainty, a fixed rate right now, ladies and gentlemen, 2.8% first year on this product. Pretty powerful index product. But the key feature here is the liquidity, the ability to get out of money jail. When are you going to get your bail from money jail card? When are you going to present it? For a variety of reasons. What do we have to offer here? Cumulative withdrawals, policy loan, a medical stay waiver, terminal illness benefit, and an accidental death benefit too, plus early annuitization and some other features as well. So I'm going to talk about these each in the coming slides. The key and central feature of Ultra Classic, brought to you by National Western Life by way of IAMS, IAMS, is the cumulative withdrawal. And, you know, what you've seen in some products, the cumulative withdrawal has been decreased. Traditionally 10%, now some carriers are offering 5%. We still have 10% penalty-free withdrawals, but unlike just about every other carrier in the business, if you don't use that cumulative withdrawal, you don't lose it. It grows. It stacks. So, for example, 10% penalty-free withdrawal, you don't use it, the next year it's 20%. Hey, you don't use it that year. The next year it's 30. The next year it's 40. The next year is 50%. In 5 years and a day, ladies and gentlemen, out of this product, you could take a cumulative withdrawal, penalty-free, not on the original deposit, but on whatever value the contract has grown to. So, what can you do with this? And this is my point right now. You know, man, we're in a world of change, aren't we? I mean, who thought that our president-elect would be who it would be? Would you have predicted this at the beginning of the year even? No. So here we are in an era of uncertainty, unpredictability, some general optimism. Will interest rates rise? We've already seen it in the span of a week. Will the market be more volatile, less volatile? Will we have the growth that's promised? We don't know. But what we do know is that opportunities will present themselves. And what you're able to do with this product is keep money safe, keep money certain, have the potential for some growth, but then repurpose it, revitalize it, reallocate it if it makes sense for the client. What if CD rates rise to 5 or 6%? You know, if you lock them up into some souped-up income rider annuity, you're not going to be able to release those funds. Here's a place, penalty-free, where you can get money and redeploy it. Yes, I'm telling you, here's a way to get that money and move it away from National Western Life if it makes sense for the client. What if we have some new evolution of products, either in conjunction with DOL or post-DOL or no DOL? Here's another way to get money penalty-free, and what I might add, without permission. And I'm going to come back to this theme on occasion. You know, most liquidity provisions found in other annuity contracts require either something horrible to happen to your client or in some way to seek approval or permission from the carrier to get at the funds. Here's a way again, penalty-free, cumulative. If you're a wait-and-see financial practitioner, there's really no better place for the funds to be than right now because you can access them in a variety of ways. And by the way, I call this suitability friendly because the first question on every suitability form is, was there a surrender charge associated with this transfer or replacement? In this case, the answer will always be no. No penalty, no problem, new opportunities for you and your client. We also have another liquidity provision in Ultra Classic, a 60% policy loan. Now, this is only available on non-qualified funds. That's the IRS's rules, not ours. So for qualified funds, no policy loan available, but it's available basically immediately after issue. 60% of the contract value, whatever it is. We do charge interest, but remember, the annuity is serving as collateral. Their money is still working for them. We charge an interest rate of 7.4%. If you're looking for a high interest rate, there it is. So we charge that, but again, remembering that the client is earning a rate of return as well. One of the requirements, if they exercise a loan, is that all the funds have to be in the fixed account for us to exercise that. So they're looking at, assuming the rate is 2.8 as it is now, you're looking at an effective rate of about 4.6, less than 5%. That's that's a really good personal loan. So again, another way to get at funds without client or without policy or without insurance company permission. We also have a medical stay waiver in this product. If you get sick or hurt and require institutional care, 90 days in a hospital or skilled nursing facility, that'll trigger 75% lump sum liquidity. It's not quite a nursing home rider. It's not ADL driven. It's confinement driven, but still another way to get at funds. Terminal illness rider, fairly common. I don't think we need to spend much time here, but again, if you have that diagnosis, a way to access 100% of the capital without penalty. And then here's a neat little wrinkle. Maybe for some of those people that have trouble getting life insurance, older age, it's an accidental death benefit that effectively not only will, at death, by way of an accident, will the heirs get the value of the policy, they'll get the original premium too. So let me give you an example. Original deposit's $100,000. We go 4 or 5 years, it's grown to $125,000. The heirs would get $225,000. The contract value plus the additional accidental death benefit. Neat little wrinkle here, available for clients up to age 75. No charge for that built in. So ultimately what we have and what we're bringing to you is the classic objection buster. Really got 6 or 7 objection busters here. The classic what if. Well, what if the tornado comes? What if we have a tsunami? What if I need a new car? What if, what if, what if? Now, we're all sound financial practitioners here, so we have always set aside funds for liquidity and emergency purposes in our planning. But in that event, that objection, well, I like what you're telling me, Mr. Agent, but that annuity, I'm tying up my money. I'm not sure if I'm going to need income, and who knows what's going to happen with interest rates. Here is the ultimate objection buster, the cumulative withdrawal, 50%, 60% policy loan, 75% medical stay waiver, 100% terminal illness death benefit, accidental death, plus early annuitization as well. It keeps getting better. Income rider and penalty-free, no commission chargeback RMDs in year one. Let me talk about the 5x5 annuitization. We didn't go on at length there. This is another unique attribute of National Western Life. Many of our products have this feature as well. What that is we sell deferred annuities. You sell deferred annuities. And when we talk about deferral, we normally think about tax deferral. But really what we're deferring with annuities is the right to annuitize. At the end of every policy contract, at some point in time, you can annuitize the value of that policy for life, sometimes for 20 years. But generally, you have to wait to the end of the contract term, 9 years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is. What we do here is we accelerate that right, and we reduce the term by which you have to annuitize. So after 5 years in this contract, the client could annuitize for 5 years, effectively gendering 20% withdrawals from that account and liquidating the full value of that account without penalty, at interest, by the way. There's an interest payment charge on the payout. So it's perfect. Let me give you an example here of a really neat combination. You have a contract, policy grows. Say we have 100,000. Let's say it grew to 200,000. Grows to 200,000. After 5 years, the client could use the penalty-free withdrawal and take $100,000 off the table. Then they could annuitize and take the remaining $100,000, spread those payments out over 5 years, $20,000 a year, out of the contract completely, without penalty, redeploying that capital, recapturing that capital for whatever need that they want to satisfy. Isn't that neat? Isn't that great? The ultimate objection buster is brought to you by these products. This is another key element that we talk about. National Western Life, by the way, processes partial 1035 exchanges. So you say, well, Paul, that's great, but you're going to 1099 the client. No. They could take a penalty-free cumulative withdrawal and say, hey, I want to send this to American Equity, Athene, Allianz, whatever that company is, maybe even back into National Western Life products. You can do that as well. They would not get a 1099. We would process that withdrawal as a partial 1035 exchange. You know, one of the challenges that I see for our industry, with all the suitability, with all even the fiduciary standard coming on board, is that inability, even if it's in the client's best interest, for them to repurpose their money. Here's a great way to do that. We can accommodate that at National Western Life. Let's sum up. The Ultra Classic product features fixed rate at 2.8%. Even if you never go into the indexing, indexing is great. Long-term potential performance. Now, the product is a 13-year product. Now, if you're going, Paul, I won't sell a 13-year product, I say, shut up. Do you sell an income rider on your annuities? Oh, yeah, I do that all the time. Well, then you're selling 40-year annuities. You're selling 30-year annuities. And forgive my irreverence, but come on. Duration is not the issue. You're selling forever annuities right now every time you sell an income rider. What I give to you is, even though the contract is 13 years, the ability in years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pick the year, to access client capital at any point in time. Product has no MVA, market value adjustment. By the way, a lot of products out there now have that. We don't. So no extra surprise there. And for those of you worried about duration or bonuses, this product has no bonus. I wanted to just kind of talk about the annuity seesaw here, in that, in essence, in terms of product construction, you know, when you put bonuses on, you lose the other values. So what we have here is, though we don't offer a bonus in terms of the base product, I'm going to show you a way in a little bit on how you can add a 5% bonus, by the way. But even though we don't have a basic bonus in the product design, we have all these other benefits. Now, if you absolutely positively need a bonus, here's an idea. Take your favorite bonus product, and whatever the client's suitability position is relative to annuities, put half in the bonus product and put half in this product. I maintain, guys, wherever you are, whatever your favorite carrier is or your favorite product is, you need to peel off 25 to 50% of that deposit and put it into this product, so that you have a pool of liquidity with safety, with certainty, with upside potential, building for your client in case their needs change. Think of doing that split annuity sale with us, even if you use another carrier. Just send us a little bit. We'll be happy with that. Now let's close with this. These products have income riders as well. So you can have the best of both worlds. You can have upside potential by way of the index. You can have lots of liquidity, and you can lock in for a long-term proposition an income rider. What I remind people is what matters: the payment, the cost, the longevity. You know, you guys get focused on the wrong thing. You know, the carriers exploit you, talking about roll-up rates. You know, what matters most is the payout. What are you getting paid out at a particular period of time? And by the way, are you confident that the company's going to be able to deliver on that promise in 10, 20, 30 years? So we have two riders at National Western Life. And this is how we work at our company. We have riders that you can add to any of our index products, not income products, but income riders. So my lead rider is Income Outlook. It has a real-world roll-up of 3%. Now keep in mind a couple things. that interest rate compounds. That interest rate, or that roll-up rate, I should say, will compound indefinitely. There's no limit to the compounding. So you can compound for 10, 15, 20 years. Now, at National Western Life, it's all about the payout, not the roll-up. We have some of the highest rates of withdrawal. That's equally as important as the roll-up rate. For example, at age 60, my payout rate is 5%. At 61, it's 5.1. 65, 5.5. 70, it's 6%. My payout rate, my rate of withdrawal, grows every year that you defer the income rider payment. So the payouts are very competitive. The cost is reasonable, 1%, but here's the key, ladies and gentlemen. We waive this charge if there's no gain in the contract. It is a principal-preserving income rider. You have to make money to pay money for the rider. So if we have some of those zero hero years, there will be no charge, and we won't recoup it in the following year if there's a gain. So when there's no gain, there's no charge. When there is a gain, you net it out, and then that gain is protected for the rest of the life of the contract. No gain, no charge. Makes a lot of sense. We also have an income rider with a little bit of sizzle, too. It's called Income Outlook Plus 5. And here's a way that you can add a bonus to this product in particular without a bonus. The Ultra Classic, no bonus. The bonus is in the Liquidity. But you can add a 5% premium bonus. I use that word. I emphasize that. Premium bonus, because it is not an income value bonus only. It manifests itself in all elements of the contract, in the accumulation value, in the death benefit, certainly in the withdrawal payment base or the income value, all elements of the contract. So it is a real premium bonus. The payouts are competitive, a little bit different than the Income Outlook. Those payouts go up every 5 years as opposed to every year. So, for example, at age 60, still 5%, but 61, 62, 63, 64, still 5%. Then it bumps up at 65, 5.5, and so on. So good payouts. Now, the cost, you get what you pay for. How can we do a 5% premium bonus? You pay for it. It's 1.5 or 150 basis points, and that charge in this rider is never waived. So really it's a trade-off. Do you want 5 for 1? You can do that. And when you combine these things, National Western Life, across our product spectrum, and we do have products with bonuses as well, when you add this bonus on top, we have the best income solves in years 1 through 5. We have a relatively modest roll-up rate, either 3 or 4%. I know there are others that are higher, but because of our high rates of withdrawal, I'm going to give you the shortcut. For income solves, National Western Life is generally number 1 in years 1 through 5. I want to close with this, Matt, with your permission. We said we touch upon a couple of other products as we come to a close. Our theme here at National Western Life is, you came for annuities, now stay for life. And we have some great life products. So I want to focus on a couple of things. The Ultra Classic, we just talked about, pays 10% commission. We have a single premium life product. We are a leader, ladies and gentlemen, and I would say DOL, post-DOL, no DOL, you really need to be thinking about asset preservation, alternatives to annuities, legacy planning, wealth transfer. Lifetime Return Select is perfect for that, and by the way, it pays 11% commission. So boom, that just happened. 2 double-digit commission-paying products when everybody else is telling you how you got to get used to 5% commissions. Not bad, huh? Great solution. And then, if you like bonuses, we have a product with a great bonus, Ultra Future, 9% true premium bonus. You could add that Income Outlook Plus 5 income rider on that and actually have 14% in total bonuses working at once on the client's money. Real value, real money, real death benefits, real income value, real accumulation value. Plus, that Ultra Future has that early annuitization option as well. So if you're a ladder planner, a bucket guy, this is a great product to use as a short-term bucket for building up value and then disbursement. So ultimately, one other thing, we want to give you, just like IAMS gives you great training, great selling tools, we have a selling tool as well called savingsbasedinsurance.com, savingsbasedinsurance.com. That's a generic, non-denominational, non-company specific website that just talks about, in general, the single premium life concept. The theme is the money mattress miracle, and really why this product is a great place as an annuity alternative, as an alternative asset that protects value. And by the way, this product has uber liquidity because it has full return of premium. And that's one of the things that I like to talk about with our product set, is that there's ways to get at the funds in a variety of ways, whether it's a life insurance like Lifetime Return Select Single Premium Life, or Ultra Classic with its Cumulative Withdrawal. So ultimately, Matt and the team, if you need bail for money jail, make Matt and the team your bail bondsman and use National Western Life products. Thank you so much, Matt. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Paul. I'm going to launch a quick poll here. If you'd like to get some additional information on National Western Life, I just launched a quick poll. We'll get you out the brochures. We'll get you out licensing, everything you need to get started with the carrier. And they've got a great suite of products, and they've got the Ultra Classic with the high compensation. They've got the uncapped strategies. They also have the Ultra Future that offers the 9% bonus. And then if you add that 5% additional rider on there, Paul, do you get 14% bonus on that contract?
That's it. 9 plus 5 equals 14, just like you learned in elementary school.
There you go. So it's a great combination, and it's hard to find anyone out there paying a 14% bonus right now. So it's a great feature, and they've got that 50% cumulative withdrawal on the Ultra Classic. As Paul mentioned, they've also got a couple really strong single premium life options, and it's a great company to go with. And take a look at what they offer across the board. They can cover all the client's needs based on liquidity, bonuses that are required, and also any type of income payout. And they're very strong. And I know that I've ran some really long deferrals. If you say you go out 30 years, National Western Life is by far and away number one. So if you got someone in their 30s or 40s that wants to put a block of money, maybe they got an inheritance or they got some big bonus they got from their job, if you throw it into the National Western Life contract, you defer payments for 30, 40 years, you're going to see some huge returns based on that. So great for really short-term deferrals and also huge for long-term deferrals. So great combinations there. Once again, if you do have any questions, be sure to get those asked along the way. Be glad to go over that with you. Someone asked about the commissions on the Ultra Classic. The commission is 10% commission up to age 75 on non-qualified money. If you have qualified dollars, the commission is 10% up to age 70. It goes down to 8.5% to age 80 on non-qualified, and 8% commission up to age 75 on qualified. So they do cut commissions a little bit on the qualified side. A lot of that has to do with RMDs, but they do pay very strong commissions all along the way based on those numbers. Once again, I'm going to leave this open for about another 30, 40 seconds. Paul, do you have anything you want to tell them about the DOL at all at this point?
Yeah, let's close with that. I think I'm probably one of the few carrier reps, Matt. As you know, we've done this in conjunction with your firm that's done national broadcasts on DOL. We're all in a wait-and-see category. And one of the things that I caution is that a lot of carriers and a lot of IMOs have spent a lot of money on prospective DOL compliance. Now, the DOL rule, remember, applying a best interest standard to advice on qualified money, and that affects all of us that give any kind of advice, particularly if we're selling fixed index annuities or even fixed annuities for that matter. Putting the client's interest first, using a standard of prudence and loyalty to the client. So we say that's all well and good, but the devil's in the details. And that whole process of acting as a fiduciary relative to advice and counsel on qualified funds can be quite complicated. So where are we now? Well, we just had the election results. Our president-elect Donald Trump has said repeatedly that he is going to table or defer all pending regulation that does not deal with public safety. So that's been a big issue for him. Now, my challenge is, how far down the list does that go? The economy, ISIS, Syria, all those kinds of things. Even the Affordable Care Act. He was pretty clear on that, but now we're hearing, he likes this provision, that provision. So, like I say, the devil is in the details. So we don't know for certain if this is going to get scrapped. My prediction, based on everything that I've read, pre-election, post-election, I think what we may get is a deferral, a delay. That's one thing that the industry had asked for. We're looking for that. Second, National Western Life has been very active supporting the litigation against the DOL fiduciary standard. There are basically 3 cases that were brought forth, one in Washington, D.C., brought by NAFA. We did not win. The judge did not see it our way, so that suit is getting appealed. There have been 2 other hearings on the matter, one in Kansas and one in Texas. Those, in essence, the jury is out, though they're heard by a judge, but not a jury. But the judge is out, and we have not got a response on those deals. I'll close with this, Matt. The industry going into this fiduciary standard has said that they're not necessarily opposed to a fiduciary standard. They're not opposed to operating and conducting ourselves within the client's best interest. The big issue had been this fiduciary contract that had, in essence, unlimited liability on part of the producer, the advisor, and the financial institution, and that, in essence, sponsors that advisor. That's been the big issue. So it could very well be that we're going to get half a loaf. My point is that you need to start preparing as if it's going to happen. You can't wait to January 20th and see what President Trump is going to do. This regulation goes into effect on April 10th. So look at your products, look at your carriers, look at how you're conducting your business. Most importantly, start to make an effort to update and maintain your records. The regulation requires 6 years of record maintenance. And then finally, understand what your process is in terms of carrier and product recommendation. Ultimately, where this regulation addresses is your practice and your process. And if you have those 2 things in line, you should be good either full DOL, partial DOL, or no DOL. Basically, the jury's out, the judge is out. We'll see as we get closer to 2017. But man, we're what, 5 or 6 weeks away from 2017, so it's going to come quick. So start focusing on your practice and your process, and I think you'll do very well.
Appreciate that, Paul. Some great information you passed along. Of course, we'll have to see what happens the next 6-8 weeks. What we see in the news the next couple months. But as he mentioned, now's the time to put everything together for 2017 and be ready for whatever may occur. Based on the regulations, we'll have to see how things pan out the next few weeks here. But I do appreciate everybody joining us this morning. We're going to go ahead and get this wrapped up here pretty quick. If you have any questions on what you saw today, you can give me a call. This is Matt over at Insurance Agency Marketing. I'd be glad to go over any details with you on that. If you have specific questions for Paul, you can call National Western Life's office. He'd be glad to go over any details with you on their end. And I know that we're getting pretty close to the holiday season. and getting through the Medicare open enrollment season. So I'm sure things are going to really pick up here in December through the end of the year, especially with this pending regulations. We're going to see a lot of money moving on the qualified money side. I have a feeling between December and January to end of February, we'll see how that pans out. Anything you want to end up with here, Paul?
All I got to say is, on behalf of National Western Life, everybody here in Austin, Texas, thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about us. Thank you for taking the time to help people all across the country. I have great and profound respect for the work that you do. You deserve to get paid. Your clients deserve a great company with great products. Let's put them all together. You, me, Ultra Classic, Matt and the team at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Awesome. Have a great Thanksgiving and a holiday as well.
Appreciate it, Paul. You do the same. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving next week. And we look forward to working with you through the end of the year. And we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye now.